EDFI. Thank you.
Welcome everybody. Please rise to the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. All right. Gary Yaros.
Here.
Leah Russo.
Here.
And Chris Ravish. Here. Bonnie Holstein is excused. Paul Grigorchik is here. Katie Grigorchik.
Oh.
Here. And
Katie.
you.
Sorry.
She's here.
Not really, but.
Well, summer's moving along pretty quick. We got a lot of stuff on our plates. Wait, that, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
3.
So their summer's gonna be moving along quick. Is there any additions, additions and deletions, changes to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, then I need a
Move to
motion.
approve the agenda.
That motion,
I'll support.
motion support, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Community comments on the agenda. We always have to look at her. That shows up.
Usually just me.
Okay, on a communication, Superintendent Kowalczyk.
Thank you, President Doobie. First, we'd like to talk about the state budget that was passed about a month ago. I guess there's some good and bad to it. Over $2 billion was shifted out of the school aid fund, K-12, higher ed, which is concerning to us again. I know I brought that to you last time. But the K-12 schools will continue to push to make sure that money stays with us. $250 increase per pupil. That brings it up to $10,300 per student. There's also a 20% increase for at-risk and English language learners. Districts are also given a little more flexibility and less restrictions when using those funds. So maybe that's something that we can benefit from. 31 AA language remains. If you remember, that was the kind of nightmare last year that we had to make a decision if we wanted to take that money for school safety and mental health. And if we did, we would have to give up our attorney-client privileges. So that, again, is staying. They did make some changes, though, to the definition, where now the definition is that it has to be a mass casualty to require significant physical injury, which means disfigurement, protracted loss, or impairment of the function. So that, I guess, we'll have to make that decision again, if that makes it enough where we will take the money. Because before, it was open. We didn't know what it meant. It just, casualty meant 2 or 3 kids could get hurt on a bus, and now we lose all of our attorney-client privileges. And the one other thing is that the student breakfast and lunch program remains paid for by the state. That, again, last year up until like October, we still didn't know what it was going to be, and it was a mess. So that's nice to have the start of the year where we know those things are paid for. Other legislative news: Senate Bill 903 was passed by the House and sent to the governor. It mandates numerous requirements. One is to implement a K-12 multi-tiered system of support, or MTSS. Last summer, we implemented an elementary and secondary MTSS coordinator. So that's kind of nice that we did that last year, because it's the rule now that you have to have people doing those things. So I just wanted to mention that not only do our MTSS coordinators do great things for our students and staff, now the state is kind of saying you need these people too. So we were ahead of the game on that. Michigan Standard Response Terminology. We will this year be required to use safety terminology that's aligned with the state. So I did send an email today to Ms. Jaime, who might be gritting her teeth a little bit, because I think last year or 2 years ago we made all those nice posters that are on the wall that have all of the terms and what you do in emergency cases. And now the state has one common language, so we may have to change those. Just to give you an idea of what they are: There are now hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate, and shelter. Those are the 5 things that we can go into in case of emergency. The hold, you stay in your classroom, you keep teaching. There might be a medical situation in the hallway. There could be something where they just need the kids to stay in the classroom, but business as usual. Secure, kind of the same thing, but nobody can go outside. So if there was something outside, if there's somebody that wants to come in that's angry, or robbery happened in town, something like that, that's what the secure is, where people don't come in or go out, but business as usual inside. Then we have lockdown, which kind of self-explanatory there. Evacuate, this would be we need to get out of here and go to our evacuation sites. And then shelter, that's probably the least common when there's a outdoor, Dow has a spill and the wind's blowing this way. We need to shelter inside and block off the air vents. So those are the new terms that you will see and hear moving forward for us with those
Are
things.
you ready to answer questions on those?
You can. I don't know if I'll have all the
What would the
answers.
one that we did this year have been with this?
With the student that got hurt. You mean?
No, the firearm or the supposed threat. It never really happened. It was the
There would've been-
Facebook threat.
Yeah. I mean, it was
It would
none
have
of
been,
them.
that would have been none of them? Would that have,
No, I mean,
would that have been that's what I'm just curious. It
it
doesn't,
could be a hold if we think it's legit.
okay.
If we know that, there's an issue, it could be the hold
That
where
was-
everybody stays in their
That was a
classroom.
verbal threat, wasn't it?
And it was
a
the
written
day
threat.
after it was already taken care of.
Yeah.
So if it's something that, we take care of right away, there are
It
times
may
though
not
when we
have been a
do.
hold then.
No, but that sort of thing, if it was legit and somebody is making a threat, then you do go into one of these things where, we're not sure what's going on. We do these before we figure it out, but at that point, we knew.
Does hold require parents to be notified?
No, it doesn't, and that's interesting. They had a frequently asked question thing, and it said you can have a secure mode because there's a angry dog in the playground area. You're not going to call parents and say, "Oh, there's a dog in the playground." It actually mentioned the sort of things where lockdown, yes, the evacuate and shelter. Obviously, those are pretty serious things. But the last 3, the lockdown, evacuate, and shelters, they said that yes, you should be notified. But the hold and secure, you can be if it's something that's a little more emergency wise. But for the most part, no, they do not need to call home for parents on those. Yeah,
Do we need to review our guidelines for those, for the administrators, so they have a
Yeah,
feel for, yeah.
I started today on the
Because
emergency
parents are
operations
second
plan.
guesses on that one, or, yeah.
Yep, and there'll be information that goes out. I did look at Royal Oak, they have a website and they kind of listed them, and I liked what I saw there, so we'll be working, I think I sent that to you, and you're right, where she's gonna make it look like ours, put it on our website, and so parents have all the access and can see what these things mean as well. Yep. Any other questions about that? All right, I want to congratulate Hunter on completing the MSBO Business Manager Academy. The academy included extensive participation, mentoring with peers, practical hands-on applications of essential school business skills. So he completed that. So congratulations, Hunter. Yeah. The U.S. Supreme Court recently supported the state's ability to prohibit transgender females from participating in female high school athletics. Doesn't mean the states have to do that. It means that they can if they choose. After the court's ruling, the Michigan High School Athletics Association Director of Communications publicly stated that the court's decision doesn't change anything on our end, as our current policy for transgender eligibility is required by the Elliott-Larsen Act. So there's a lot of legal things that put it into place with what we do now. He further explained that MHSAA has followed state law, and any change would need to come from our state legislators and government. Current MHSAA policy allows transgender female students to compete in girls' MHSAA tournament-sponsored sports following an approved waiver, where they have pages of stuff that they have to ask or answer. And it also said in the 24-25 school year, there were 2 waivers that were approved. In the 25 school year, there was 1 waiver that was approved in the whole state. So they feel, sometimes this is big news nationally and within the state. They said we have a very good handle on what's going on. And it seems to be working right now. So in case you had seen that, I wanted to read that from MHSAA. Our athletic golf outing fundraiser was last week. I want to congratulate Mr. Floyd, Ms. Enciso for a productive day at Green Hills. Very organized, very well ran. The funds for this event are used to support the athletic program, not specific teams or equipment or uniforms. It's a lot of it goes to coaches' conferences and trainings and things like that. So it does support the entire athletics. But yeah, they did a great job, and we are excited to see it happen again next year. Bond election information, IDI Engineering, and that's Craig, that he's been here a couple times, I think. They are developing a brochure with information on the bond proposal and improvements. I am working with Connoisseur Media for a media package. I met with Ms. Rulo, who is the board rep for the publicity committee. We've seen there's one person for that, and she was happy to meet with me, and she will go over that, our discussion during the committee updates at the end. But Ms. Rulo and I also discussed setting up some meetings during the Pickle Festival, maybe having a table. I talked about after the Miss Pickle pageant contest in the Linwood Elementary, maybe having a breakout session afterwards. Anybody that wants to come to a room and hear my spiel, something like that. But also throughout the weekend, maybe we'll do some other things to promote, to give info. I don't want to say to promote, to give information on the bond. We have a newsletter that is finished now. Lydia has been working very hard to complete this. She's probably for a month, I think. We will mail this to every home in our district in August. Did you get that? Did they get a copy of it?
It's attached.
It's attached. Okay, so you do have a what it's going to look like. So you have a sneak preview. The newsletter, if you remember, we did that survey of the entire district in the spring. And one thing that came back from a majority of them was if they don't have a connection to the school, they're not on our website, they're not on the social media, they're not coming to events, they don't know what's going on here. And there were people who actually said, I don't know if I'll vote or not, I don't know much about the school. We would like it in mail, which kind of goes against what a lot of schools think because they're doing so much social media and website things. So this was in response to that we are sending that out. It's 8 pages. Has great information on success stories, cool things that happened last year, and some upcoming events and some sneak peeks for this year. So that's coming up. GSRP update. A few meetings ago, it was brought to me to look into having a 4th GSRP classroom because we've heard that kids have been had to go other places because we fill up. So I did have Mr. Sanford meet with the GSRP rep to look through the room that we have available at the Advancement Academy, and they did say that it would be good, it would be sufficient for another GSRP classroom. There is money available for a startup through the grants, the state grant. So now we get into the real question. Right now we have 2 students that are on the waiting list. The other 2 classrooms are maxed out at 18. So what Hunter and I talked about, and Ms. Briggs talked about as well today, we could easily take 3 kids from each of those 2 that we have now to bring it down to more manageable 15. And with the 2 we have, we're at 8 before August even happens. And they said, obviously in August, parents sometimes start to panic and they're looking for a place for the little ones to go. So they do get, now it's not a guarantee, we could end up with 8 or 9 kids in there. But I think moving forward, we did also put it out for applications, and we do have some out there. So I'm going to talk to Mr. Sanford and have him set up some interviews and see if we can do it. Now, if we have less than 11, we do not need a parapro in there. If you have 11 or more, you need an additional, the teacher and the parapro. So there are some things. I did talk to Hunter as well. I asked him, is there a magic number that we need to break even? Because we don't want to start, going in the wrong direction. And he said, we are good as of right now. If we get 8 or 10 kids, there will be no issues. So that's good to hear. So I think we're going to move forward with it. Could there be a surprise and 5 of them leave and now we're not in the best situation? I think that could happen, but that's not what's happened in the past. In the past August, we've had more students come in than leave. So that's the plan moving forward with that. And again, they don't start The first 2 weeks of school, they're not in there yet with students, so we have a little extra time to get the room ready and if that's gonna work out for us. So it's exciting. And then I also wanted to talk about retired support staff sub pay. We have support staff, bus drivers, parapros, custodians, maintenance, who have retired from Pinconning and they come back and sub for us. These people that have had trainings, know the building, know the staff, know the kids, they get the same pay as someone off the street who has no knowledge of the school to come in. So I've talked to the president of the steelworkers and talked to Jeremy, and we would like to increase their pay by $1 per hour above what the normal sub pay is. I was concerned, as was Miss Ivy, the president. We do not want that to get to a spot where they're making as much as someone who's a permanent place here with us on the first step. We don't want that. But it at least gives them a little bit more than just a person off the street, because we love having our retirees come back that know the building. And so if there are any problems with that, I don't think there would be. I think that's good for the district, but I at least wanted to let you know that that was a change. It's non-union, so there's not a negotiation with it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's it. Any questions for me?
Are we advertising for the spots available in preschool? Like, do we?
We did once in the spring, but now that we did this, that Miss Briggs asked me today, she said, do we want to put another thing in the paper? And I said, let's make sure that everybody's on board, because I would hate to put it in the paper and then we don't do it. Right now we're telling more people no.
Yep.
But I feel pretty confident that by the end of the day, after talking to different people in Hunter, that I think we're gonna give it a try. So yeah, we'll have it in there again. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Right. Before I go to administrators, Lydia, this looks great.
Thank you.
I think it's.
I did make a comment. There were 2 spelling errors and I forgot to re-upload the newest newsletter. So if you notice 2 spelling errors, they've been corrected. Hopefully.
Contest.
I wonder if we should put the GSRP like that, there's an opening in that, cause that's mailing out to every family.
I think we would be too late,
Okay.
you know, because I think from Monday it was a 14 to 16 day turnaround.
Okay.
So then we'll have to post it and then send it back.
Yeah.
It might be at like the end of August by the time it
Yeah.
technically gets into mailbox.
We'll get it out there. We're gonna get the news out there.
Journal might be able to do so.
Yep.
Get a couple more flyers.
Now administrator stuff. John, you have anything?
Nope, not today.
Tiffany?
Not today.
Allison? Hunter?
Nope.
Jay? Nope. I got through there. All right, on to the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve this consent agenda and pay those bills totaling $1,300,094.64.
Support. Motion support, any other discussion? Roll call.
Gary Yaros,
Yes.
Chris Retch,
Yes.
Leah Russo,
Yes.
Paul Jaworczyk, yes, Kate Jaworczyk,
Yes.
and Brad Duke.
Take care of that. To the non-consent agenda. First one, the bond proposal.
My suggestion would be
Oh.
to click the attachment and then read from whereas number 1 through 6, just in case, because the doesn't really let you enter and like make your own paragraphs. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if
Little
you,
folder,
Yeah.
little file.
underneath all of the words, there's an attachment at the bottom.
Yours as soon as I do it, okay,
I see.
That's better.
nobody wants to make the
I can,
motion, okay, we got. Motion,
all right. Ready? I'm gonna read the whole thing.
Yep.
I move to accept the following preamble and resolution, whereas, number 1, pursuant to the Michigan election law, the district's regular school election shall be held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November of even years. 2, it is necessary to conduct the district's regular election on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, to fill 1 or more board positions. 3, in the opinion of this board, it is necessary and expedient to ask voters whether to approve a bond project consisting of erecting, furnishing, and equipping an elementary addition to Pinconning Middle High School, remodeling Pinconning Middle High School, and preparing, developing, improving, and equipping playgrounds and sites. Number 4, this board estimates the necessary cost of the project to be $20,117,477. Number 5, it will be necessary for the district to borrow the sum of $19,900,000 and issue the bonds of the district. Therefore, the remaining funds to be derived from the investment of the bond proceeds. Number 6, before 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 11, 2026, the board shall certify any ballot proposal to be submitted to the voters at such election to the election coordinator or coordinators designated to conduct elections with the district. That will be the election coordinator. Now, therefore, be it resolved that, number 1, the regular school election of the school electors of the district be called and held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. Number 2, the ballot proposal be voted on at the regular school election shall be stated on the ballots in substantially the form as set forth in Exhibit A. That's the attachment, right, Lydia?
Yep, underneath there's,
Yep.
if you go to the fourth page, third page is
Yeah.
Exhibit A attached.
And number 3, the election coordinator is requested to A, utilize the Pinconning Journal, a newspaper published or of general circulation within the district for publication of notices in accordance with the election law requirements. B, utilize ballot proposal summary information as prepared by the district's legal counsel in the forms of the notices of the last day of registration and election, substantially the form as set forth in Exhibit B, attached hereto. C, provide a proof copy of the ballot to the district and its legal counsel in sufficient time to allow the ballot to be proofread prior to printing. 4, this board estimates the period of usefulness of the improvements for which bonds of the district in the amount of $19,900,000 are to be issued to not be less than 20 years. 5, the secretary of this board is hereby authorized and directed to file a copy of this resolution with the election coordinator and with any election clerk or clerks designated to conduct elections within the district before 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. And number 6, all resolutions and parts of the resolutions, insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution, are hereby rescinded.
I'll support.
Okay, motion support, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call.
Paul Gregorczyk, yes. Kate Gregorczyk,
Yes.
and Gary Yaros,
Yes.
Leah Rulo, Chris Ravish,
Yes.
Brad Dooley.
Yes. Okay. This will be quick. Well, there you go. The first reading of the 2026-27 elementary handbook.
So move.
Motion,
Support.
support, any discussion?
Yeah, I just got it. I don't know, John. I don't see any highlights. Was there any changes?
Right, I didn't see any highlights either.
I got 2 copies
Okay,
and
Well-
I didn't want to read them both to see what was changed.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure how she. Truthfully, we just tried to clean up the wording,
okay.
so I'm really not sure.
No major changes that you're
No.
aware of.
I didn't see anything crazy, and I just seen some.
No.
We'll
some
have to
names
begin
were
when we do
correct,
second.
Yeah.
for the right administrators. So.
Tara was the one that had provided it to me and she made it known to me and I thought I had put that in the description that like she didn't do the edits, she just put it into a template and reloaded it to try to make it cleaner, you know, so
So we'll check too before the next meeting for your second thing, if there's anything big that was.
I think
needed
it
to be
said
highlighted,
it
but-
is section 5 is currently not in the handbook as of right now still. That'll be hopefully presented next time.
Any other discussion?
Section 5 is not in here, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What is section 5? Do you know?
And
Code of conduct.
Ooh. So you're making changes there?
No,
No?
not necessarily. We just need to look at it again. Not saying that we wouldn't, but that's not why it's there, or why it's not there.
Okay, public comments. You know, you guys can, okay. Discussion items. Lydia, yeah, the only thing.
I got it. I'd like to thank whoever did the dinner. That was great. Thank you. Pass that along.
Again, the cook staff.
All right, nice job.
Thanks.
And I think I have a new hire here. Welcome, Mrs. Holder.
Yes,
Yeah, when's her start date?
Probably 2 weeks from tomorrow.
actually 10 I was planning on, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like that's if I turn it in, tonight, that I'll be done at my current position on the 7th and I can start.
All right, well, welcome. Yeah.
Or welcome back.
And there will be some time when Lydia and her can work together, hopefully for 5 days to be able to get things going in a board packet and everything. So, yeah,
Great.
I'm excited.
The only other thing came to mind while we were reading, you know, we can't say vote yes, right? Isn't that correct?
We cannot, in any of our public, yes, our
So-
publicity things, we can give information and talk about vote, but we cannot
The other,
vote yes.
we've always had a vote yes committee outside of the board in the past when we've tried to go for these. So are you considering doing that again? So that there can be literature out there that says.
I think it
vote
would be
yes?
great. I know we can't
We
be the
can.
people that say,
You can solicit
Yep,
for people to do that.
yes.
I think that
Mhm.
might be something we want to consider doing,
Yep.
just so we have
Great.
some way of doing a vote yes.
Yep.
Statement.
I have just one question on sporting events. Like 2 weeks ago, we had the humid weather, the high temperature. Are there any guidelines that
Yeah.
coaches follow before they have practice or no
Yep.
practice? Okay.
Yeah,
That's all. in writing on
MHSAA
the-
has it, it's actually, it's, the funny thing is it's in our, emergency operations plan. The last page has a graph with temperature versus humidity, and there's a red area where you cannot be practicing during those times. So, yeah, that's something Mr. Floyd
Okay.
looks at, and
Does Tim go out and check it like the trainer used to? Go and check, you know, the gauges and stuff?
I think he just looks on the weather app,
Okay.
you know, where it has humidity and temperature, and if it's at that point, yeah, I don't think he has any gauges.
What about the smoke? Cause my son played a soccer game on the worst day. But it wasn't.
I heard that.
It was like a summer league. so
It's a
I'm
summer league thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Coach is pretty cool about it. He's like, hey, if you
It
don't
was-
feel comfortable,
it
you
was
don't have to do it.
Like my eyes were itchy and my throat was sore. So I couldn't imagine running around on the field like that.
I know a lot of schools said no outdoor practices, you know, during this time, but when it's something that has nothing to do with us, like a summer league, we're not the ones that say, and it's not MHSAA, but you would think they
Right.
should follow the same guidelines.
So it wouldn't be RAD, that would be.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I don't wanna- But I acknowledge your concern, as I think we are as well. And then is this, I don't see anything on here for the committee report. Is that during discussion?
No,
No,
it
it was
should-
said that it wasn't needed because it wasn't like a technical.
You can give one. though.
You can give it at this time.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna give like a brief report.
Yeah,
of what we did.
absolutely.
I was the only one that was signed up apparently for the publicity, but it wasn't necessarily that I was needed there because the amount that they were looking for was under
Yeah.
what is required for board approval. So when Mr. Kowalczyk reached out to see if I was interested to just hear what was going on with the advertisement for the bond, the company that they found to work with gave a couple different avenues on what we could do to try to help promote Pinconning High School District and also the bond itself. And so what they're gonna do is on different streaming channels, I guess, they're gonna have an advertisement that shows different stuff that goes on at in Pinconning School District. In addition to, there's different flag banners that can come up on either Facebook advertisements or, like I said, the streaming, as far as like whatever people stream, they can have those advertisements come in. The company that they found, he's interested in coming in and shooting a few videos as part of the package. And so he kind of wants to encompass a bunch of different avenues to try to put us out there and try to put information about the bond out there so that they can have a better idea of what's going on with it. And I don't have the note access to the notes. right
No,
at
that's-
this moment, so if you have
That's
anything.
well said. It's a local company from our community, so that's nice that they know our community.
The Chamber of Commerce.
But it's not a vote yes, then it's information.
It's information, yeah, it can't, yep, not to vote yes. It's funny you bring that up because Troon Law actually, in that packet that they gave us that you had to read earlier, said any of your publicity stuff, send my way so I can go through it and make sure there's nothing that breaks the rules. So that was cool to see. So we would do that with this sort of stuff. But yeah, there's two different things. The one is like the commercials, if you're watching streaming, anything, Disney or ESPN, where they're the commercials that you can't skip through. That's one section, and the other sections are all with the little banners and the quick commercials, but more information. So it's, with us being that close at that 49%, it's worth it to spend a little bit and and it's just for our district. They did the map road for road where it would be just within our district. Because he said you don't need to be giving clicks out there and people that aren't voting are outside of our district. So it's very specialized to our people only. Which is kind of cool to see.
Can you check into room to the conference? It's open yet.
What was the
Should
question?
be the conference rooms on
PASD.
October 15th.
Just to look at the rooms
If
or,
they can, I would, right at the conference, cause it's in Lansing again, it's gonna be no more than 3.
3 rooms.
For the full conference, we'll just cancel them later if we need to.
It's good.
Anything else? Okay, if not, one more motion.
Adjourn.
Support.
The motion is support, any discussion on that? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
On the video. Big mistake was made.